called her up and said, Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell? And my mom says, yes, sirree, Bob, it was him. That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives are like a pearl necklace of great moments, all strung together with the finest silk thread of memories. And we have to be very careful how we cultivate those pearls and we thread that necklace.
Does this meeting by any chance have to do with Vic Van Leer?
I grew up in the burbs, freak. I wasn't poor, upper middle class, comfortable. My daddy worked as an accountant for one of the largest insurance firms in the country. Smart with his money. Mom didn't have to work. I went to boarding school. And my dad died of a heart attack when I was a freshman at MIT. I was a movie geek, wanted to be a civil engineer, but I made my fortune by becoming a hybrid of both those interests. My dad didn't want me to be an accountant. Oh, listen to this. My best friend was a guy named Isidore. Yeah, we called him Izzy. He was one of the smartest human beings I have ever met.
Tell you about Vic. He has this bad rap.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Always a majestic view of the War Memorial here in downtown Indianapolis. Welcome everyone to this 2K Sports broadcast of the Pacers live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Take a look at the Warriors. Indiana's gone 1-2 from long range in the first quarter. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, the Splash Brothers are the guards. Barnes and Green are the forward set. And it's Azili in at the pivot spot manning the middle. Stuckey passes to Freak. Mahimi kicks to Stuckey. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Some nice passing here by Indiana. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his career in the NBA with 24 on his back. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
And with Paul George going with the number 13 now, as you can see, helps with his nickname, PG-13.
Yeah, that's a good nickname, a nice fit. Young Tracy, as he likes to go by on Twitter, he said himself that it was about embracing his stature and stardom in the league. Nice way to do it.
The Warriors making a switch here. Livingston's checked in. He makes 1 of 2 that time.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
They double him with Freak. Here's Azili. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Livingston.
And he's starting to get what he wants here early and often. Nice move.
The Pacers have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. George dishes to Freak. And the basket by Hill. And thinking back on George's injury, still a very graphic image in everyone's mind, but he was able to bounce back.
Yeah, it was great to see him get some game time before the end of the season after that horrific injury. A credit to him working as hard as he did, as well as to the training staff that got him back to be able to play before the end of the season.
The feed to Stuckey. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
Golden State's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Green, no luck.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Thompson with the bucket.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Kicks to George. Now here's Freak. He's guarded closely. And Mahimi with the stuff.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Over in the corner, Green. That doesn't go either for Green.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
George passes to Freak. George softly drops in the floater. George has got 9.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
And Thompson kicks to Livingston. Back to Thompson. Good work defensively by Stuckey.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Pacers out in front, up by 4. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories like this, I'm sure.
Well, without question, Kevin, that's the case in the landscape that we find ourselves in. But, you know, there's something to be said for developing all 4 years in college when that's the best route for an individual player. Nowadays, I think unfairly so.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. So many great statistics are available to demonstrate just how dominant the Warriors were last season. My favorite is, G8, their point differential.
You know, to be able to beat your opponent by double digits on average is something only 8 teams have been able to do in the history of the league.
It's amazing. They set the pick. Out to Stuckey, and stolen by Barnes. Here's Curry, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
It's been a solid outing for Curry. He's got 13 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
And when it's all said and done, I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to have a few more.
That one is off.
And remember, you go back to when Steph Curry was in college, more of a shooting guard at Davidson, but he's worked relentlessly to not only improve his ball handling, but his vision. And now, all of a sudden, he's one of the most elusive ball handlers in the NBA.
Here's Stuckey. Sweet little floater. Stuckey's got his second basket.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Thompson with it, picked up by Stuckey, and it's Paul George with the foul. And Curry, certainly, Clark, a magician with the ball in his hands. He can really supply the terrific handle, razzle-dazzle moves, crossovers. He has it all.
He sure does, but on occasion he can be a little loose with it and turn it over some. That's been a focus both by him and the coaching staff. Attack, but do it with precision.
And he gets it to go. Curry's got the lead up to 3 now for the Warriors.
And started hot, and he's only gotten harder.
George against Thompson. And George, here we go.